Namo Sakya Buddha. Today I continue about the talk about the Lotus Sutra. Okay. You know that our Buddha, our fundamental teacher, Sakyamuni Buddha, he's a very good teacher. He knows how to teach it. And you see the apparition of Buddha in this world, they've four goals when they appear in this world. The first one is to show, and the second one to see, the third one to meet, and then the last one to understand it. Cái khai thị, ngộ nhập. Khai, that means opening. Thị, that means to see. They open for us so we can see it. We see it, then we meet it. And the last one is penetration, understanding. And the teaching the Buddha is an excellent teaching. You know, to practice Buddhism, you have two ways to reach the goal. Some people, they gift it. They go very fast. It's like a sudden alignment. For us, you know, we are regular people. It's a gradual. It's a step-by-step alignment. It's much better. It's the way we learn. Because like you see in real life, some people, they're gifted. So they learn very fast. Doesn't mean they are very special. It may be their last life, they study already. They bring the knowledge for this life. So when they study again, it very fast. You see like how we can explain the composer or the pianist, the violinist, they play at age 6 and compose music, do something like that. It's nearly impossible. The only explanation we can tell is probably they bring their knowledge, their skill from the last life to this life. Like some people, they gifted. They have a PhD degree at age 12. Okay, so we can explain it. It has to be something they bring it. So the gift people, they bring their knowledge from the previous life to this life. That's how we explain it, how we explain it. So the practice of Buddhism is the same way. Some gifted people, they have a certain alignment. And we regular people, we go step by step. And Buddha sees that. He teaches step-by-step way. And you see, he teaches on the way. He teaches many times, different way. And so the people understand it. And finally, he realized that at the time now, so he teaches the Lotus Sutra. That's the culmination of the teaching. Okay? Because if he teaches it too soon, the Lotus Sutra people don't believe it or they don't understand it. And if they don't understand that, they don't accept it and they scare them. So if they teach the people that you have a Buddha nature and you have inherent quality in yourself, and you can get alignment, they don't believe it. Nobody believes it. Okay? So, in the Lotus Sutra, Buddha teach near the end of his life. And it helps us to understand. And it's the gift he gives to us, to all of us. So the third chapter I want to talk today is a simile and parable. Why use that? To facilitate the teaching. You teach something absolute, it's very difficult. is there's no verbal teaching, no verbalism to communicate with the Absolute. We can teach some relative truth, the normal knowledge. We can use the word to explain it. The Absolute, it's impossible to use the verbalism to explain it. So he have to use parable to explain to us. Because I said, he's a wonderful teacher. He wants to teach so everybody can understand. You are very intelligent. You learn very fast, but the regular people, they learn their way. The slow learner, they learn their way. So he used a parable. On this parable, what he used? He used the house, like the world. You know that now we have a concept that the world is small village. Okay? It's a village. So our country is like a hamlet, okay, in the big village. So now we learn that our understanding goes step by step. The first one, we learn the basic of Buddhism, okay? So he said now, he used the example, the parable. The world we live now, it's the house, the big house. But have only one opening to get out. That's the way to get out. To get out, to liberate yourself. In this big house, it's a very dangerous house. We didn't see it because they have, it's a burning house. They have a lot of risk in there. They have wild animals. They have a lot of things. It can hurt us. But because we didn't see it, we enjoy our life. Like we young kids, we play in there. We didn't see the risk, the danger. So Buddha, like a rich man, he's a good father. He wants to tell the kid to get out of that dangerous house. But the kids, they're playing. They're very playful. So they didn't listen. They keep playing. So Buddha said, find some way, some expedient means to tell them to get out of that house. But they ignore him because they're playful. So he said now, he tell the kid, my dear children, outside the house, I have 3 cards. Some toys, you like it, I will give to you. So we get out. The 3 cards, one driven by the goat, the second one by deer, the last one by ox. So it represents what is the goat driven cart. What is? It is like the voice hearer. It's a small cart. So when it's small cart, you can carry only yourself out. And the second one, the deer-driven cart, it's a little bigger cart, but still you can carry only yourself. That's a selfish way to practice Buddhism. They practice Buddhism to get better themselves. They better themselves. They get out of the cycle of birth and death. So they just benefit themselves. So it's a 2 small cart. The last one is ox-driven cart. It's the bigger cart. It's sumptuous cart. Have a lot of toys in there. So Buddha tell them, get out, we give to you. So when they get out, said, Dad, you promised us 3 carts, now have only 1. He said, one is the bigger one. You have everything in there, all the toys you wanted. And it carry all of you out. So that's the Mahayana. That's the one the Lotus Sutra teaches. That's the bigger one. It's the Bodhisattva. That's the one not only benefit yourself. The Bodhisattva is the type of practitioner. He or she practice to benefit themselves, but in the same token, in the same time, benefit the other people. They're not selfish, they're very altruistic. They said, I just don't practice Buddhism just for myself, to make myself better, to get out the cycle of birth and death. That's all. I don't care about the people. They said, no, I care about the other people. I want them to benefit even before me. Sometimes they say that I practice Buddhism not for my own sake. I practice Buddhism for the sake of the other people. That's the Bodhisattva way. They call Mahasattva. That's the best way to practice. So that's the example Buddha gives to us. You see, if we use the regular verbalism, the teaching, the people very difficult to understand, to comprehend it. So he used parable. It's a wonderful thing. He wants to tell us that that's the way you should practice it. You practice to help other people too, not only yourself. And the way to practice Buddhism is to serve the human being, serve other people, not only for yourself. That's the reason why we have a Sangha. You know, the Sangha in the Hyena way or the Theravada way, they just think about only the monastic people, the monk. Not even, they don't have none. They can get alignment, that's the only one. And the practitioner just want to come to temple to support them. So by supporting the monk, the temple, they have the merit, so they can be reborn as better life. But they never get the alignment. They get out of the cycle of birth and death. The Mahayana is different. The Mahayana, the way Buddha see it, all the practitioner, not even monastic, the lay people belong to Mahayana, the Sangha. So you join together, we practice together, we help each other, we study together, we practice together to elevate ourselves. In the same time, we give benefit, we transfer our merit to other people. So we benefit the community, we benefit the humanity more than ourselves. That's the goal of the Mahayana practice. So the wonderful thing about the Lotus Sutra is Buddha teaches us that you have your Buddha nature. And people, sometimes they so scared, they said, we don't believe it. We don't believe we have that quality. Like somebody tell you, you're an educated person, you don't believe it. I didn't finish school yet. I or somebody, I said, I didn't start school yet. How I can get education? He said, yes, you can. Just start education. Start going to elementary school, middle school, high school, and you go to college. Go to college. After college, you go to postgraduate training. You have good education. You have education not to have a good job, go to paying job, to enrich yourself. No, you do that to serve society. You have education. You make a living, but not that the goal. The goal is to pay back to society. You learn something. You go up, become a teacher yourself. You become a professor yourself. You teach all the kids, so you make them educated. You make more kids educated than yourself. And the good professor, good teacher, they always want their students be better than themselves, higher than them. That's the teacher. Not the one who just tries to hold down the student, said, I am the highest one. I know everything. You don't know that half I know. It's not the way. The way, the Buddha way, the Buddhist way is we want to benefit other people before we benefit ourselves. So we get the merit, we're not selfish, we transfer the merit to them and want them to be better than us so we can benefit each other. So the Lotus Sutra is a wonderful sutra that the one our Buddha, our fundamental teacher, Sakyamuni Buddha, give to us, to tell us that you have your intrinsic value, you have a Buddha nature. That's the one we didn't see it. Somebody never believed they have Buddha nature, or we call awakened nature. You call intrinsic value. Or you see, you tell the people they don't have education like before. 19th century, we tell them we have a genome. They didn't believe it. They said, what is genome? That's an invention. You guys have to go to school and you learn too much, you get confused, and you tell people have a genome. They said, yes, we have a genome, dogs have a genome, cats have a genome, trees have a genome. We tell them, they don't believe it. So we tell people they're not Buddhist, we said, you have Buddha nature. They don't believe it. We tell them, you have awakened nature. You have something inside yourself, we never see it. The one we see, the eye we have, that's a temporary eye. That's the one we are born with that, and we have our body, our name. And we believe that that's the fixed identity. It's not the true identity, that's the true self, that way deep inside. You have to practice it. So you go back to discover your true self. If you discover your true self, you get alignment. That's the practice of Buddhism. But people, they don't believe in true self. They believe they have value, okay? Buddha said, all of you are so valuable. You are honorable person. You are arhat. That's the worthy people. But the arhat, they stop there only. They stop for themselves. But you go said, no, I don't want to become arhat. I want to go further. I want to go to bodhisattva. And after that, Buddha said, bodhisattva is not at the end. Then to become Buddha. You become the awakened person. And you turn around, you go back to this world, you serve people. You want all of them to become Buddha because they deserve to become Buddha. Okay? So Buddha say, I'm the Buddha. You are the Buddha in the future. It's a wonderful religion. It's not like other religions. They have a deity, they put a name, that's the supreme being, and they bless you, and they use a scare tactic. They said, you don't believe in me, you go to hell. You believe in me, you save. It's not that. In Buddhism, you save yourself. You practice, you elevate yourself. You find your true self, your true value, your true inner self. You get alignment. You see, that's the goal of practicing Buddhism. And all of us, we have that quality. But we have to believe ourselves. Self-belief, self-dependence. And we get it. So that's the beauty of the Lotus Sutra, the wonderful law. And Buddha said it's like the white lotus. Why the lotus? The lotus is a special flower. You grow out of muddy water. Go up, you never see the flower of lotus stay the level of the water. It's above the water. It's so pretty, so clean. And they bloom at night. They have no insect, nothing pollute the Lotus Sutra. And inside the lotus flower, you have a seed in there already. You have seed in that. So you see the cause and effect right there. It's so pretty. It's a symbol of the Lotus Sutra, of the wonderful law. And all of us, we are a lotus flower. So that's the gift our teacher, Sakyamuni Buddha, gave to us. And hopefully we practice and we see our value, our true value, and we trust ourselves. And we keep practicing, make the world prettier and nicer. The world is a nice place to live. In Buddhism, we're pretty optimistic. We think the world is pretty. People, they are kind. Okay? In this country, we have to say 80% of people, they're very kind, very nice. 20%, they're not that nice. But they have a potential to become nicer, to become kinder again. So everybody would be nice and kind. That's my talk today about the third chapter of the Lotus Sutra. It has 28 chapters, so we go step by step. I talked to Master Quang, he prepare to get the Lotus Sutra ready for us sometime soon, so we can start chanting. We chant one chapter each time, so it takes us 28 weeks, Sunday, to finish the book, and we go back again. The reason we chant the Lotus Sutra because our lineage is Thiên Đài. Thiên Đài is the lineage. Our main sutra is the Lotus Sutra, okay? And it's a wonderful sutra. Thank you very much about listening to my talk today. If any question, I'm trying to answer your question. Yes.
Teacher?
Yes.
When we gain merit and then we transfer that merit to others, does that not also create additional merit that we still have? So giving them our merit to someone else brings merit back for us as well, right?
Yeah. When when you benefit the other people, we don't lose it. Even more benefit. Okay. It's exponential. Okay. Yeah. The more you give, the more you get it. That's the Buddhist way. Okay. You don't lose it. You don't part. You have $100. You give to somebody, it become 110. It become 120. It doesn't mean you have $100 you give, 100 you lost it. No, you don't lose it. That's the Buddhist way. The more you give, the more you get it.
Thank you, teacher.
Yes.
Thank you, teacher, for your sharing your knowledge with us, and thank you for being here. Oh, yes, thank you, teacher, for sharing your knowledge with us. I'm so happy to share with everybody. I want to ask you if you have here the Lotus Sutra that you can recommend to us as the one that you use more frequently, or that is with our temple more suitable to the
I didn't hear your question very well, but the Lotus Sutra have many translations. The one I advise is from Mr. Watson. Watson, he translates very well, very pretty. He studied well, and he went to Japan, to China. He looked on the original Sanskrit Sutra. He's translated. It's wonderful. But the Lotus Sutra has been translated since late 19th century from England and from France. One person from France translated very well too. Many translations, but the one easier to read and very update is from Mr. Watson, and it's very good. And if you want to buy, go to Google to buy, but I touched to Master Quang, he will help to get something we can chant 28 chapter, and I try to explain it as I understand it to all of you. But you can read it, and the more we chant it, the more we understand it. The way we see it, study Buddhism like go hand in hand. The practice and the study go hand in hand. You study and you don't practice, you're like a scholar. Sometimes the people, they study a lot, they become arrogant. They said, I know everything about Buddhism. It's not to know, it's to practice it. Okay? Even Buddha, he practiced it. He just doesn't tell us loving kindness, loving compassion. He practiced it. He showed the example by practicing. And his family, his mother, his father, the emperor, he teach them. He ordained them. He convert them, teach them, and they have to practice. His son the same way. They practice it. In Buddhism, we have to practice. If we practice without studying, sometimes become like a superstition. Some people, they practice, they go to ritual, they just do it. Out of sake of practicing, it becomes superstition, idolatry. But if you join study and practice, you make a very good one. Like in everything, you study. If you study theory only, you have a piece of paper, you have diploma, it doesn't mean anything. You have to go out on the job training. You become skilled. Then your education is completed. Like we doctors, okay? We study medicine. We get out of the training, we have MD degree. That doesn't mean anything. We have to go to internship, we have to residency. It's still not completed. After that, we go to the hospital. We get probation for 1 or 2 years. Somebody watching us to see how we practice. After 1 or 2 years, they give us the full privilege. Then they said, okay, yeah, you can practice now. But still, we have peer group. A peer group always watching us, look at our back to see if we practice good at medicine or not. We practice bad, they revoke our license, or they stop the license there. A lot of doctors, they get the license revoked because of bad practice. So everything the same. So Buddhism the same way. Buddha teaches always study and practice together. So we help each other. So the Sangha is the community of practitioners. We help each other. And I learned from you, I learned from Master Quang, I learned from other monks and nuns. I learned from them. I never say that I know more than them. I know less than you, less than them, because I try to improve myself. I try to study a little bit more every day. So that's the practice of Buddhism. Okay, be humble, be modest. I talked to Master Quang. I admire him because he's young, he's very devoted, and he studies a lot. I admire that. But I tell him, don't be arrogant. Okay, the more you know, the more you to tell yourself, I know less, I don't know that much. I need to learn more. And I tell him, in your life as a monk, you have at least 7 teachers. I'm your teacher, but you can have 6 more teachers, or more than that. You keep studying. You make yourself better every day. Don't say that I know a lot. Books is a teacher. Books are written by other teachers. So we read an online, we read that, we learn from somebody else. We open the book, we learn from other teachers. So we always learning, and that's the way we practice Buddhism. Never be arrogant, be humble and modest. That's the way we practice Buddhism. Okay, if you have no question, we pray and transfer the merit and we go chanting. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha, Namo Sakya Muni Buddha, Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Any positive karmic action we accomplish today, you want to transfer it everybody and wish them the alignment. We go to the general practice. Inviting the bell. Bodhi.
awaken from forgetfulness and transcends all anxiety and sorrow. Listen, listen, this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home.
Incense offering.
In gratitude we offer this incense to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout space and time. May it be fragrant as earth, reflecting our careful efforts, our wholehearted mindfulness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home.
Opening verse. The
incense in the censer now is burning, all the Dharma realm in every place auspicious appearing, our sincere intention thus fulfilling, as all Buddhas now show their perfect body. Homage to the incense cloud canopy, Bodhisattva and great Bodhisattva.
Now we bow together. Verses for bowing. Homage
to the eternally abiding Buddhas, the supreme Dharma and sagely throughout the Dharma realm and the realm of empty space and 3 periods of time.
Homage
to the fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, Maitreya, honored future Buddha, Manjushri, great wisdom Bodhisattva, universal great conduct Bodhisattva, all Dharma guarding Deva Bodhisattvas, and the glorious mountain assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
homage
to the Amitabha Buddha in the land of ultimate Avalokiteshvara, great compassion Bodhisattva, great strength Bodhisattva, earth story great vow Bodhisattva, and the of great pure sea like Bodhisattva.
Please sit down. The great compassion mantra. Nam
O great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Namo great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Namo great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Namo
Ratnatrayaya, Namo Aryavalokiteshvaraya, Bodhisattvaya, Mahasattvaya, Mahakarunikaya, Om Sarvaravaye, Sudanadasya, Namo Himavadya, Valokiteshvararam Dava, Namo Narakindi, Hrimaha
Proceed for your opening a sutra. The answer
Surpass profound and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.
touching the earth, the one who
Bows and the one who is bowed to are both by nature empty. Therefore, the communication between them is inexpressibly. Our center is the net of Indra, reflecting all Buddhas everywhere, as my own person reflects in all Buddhas, to whom with my whole life I go for refuge.
offering
Light in the 10 directions, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, to whom we bow in gratitude.
teaching
And living the way of awareness in the very midst of suffering and confusion. Shakyamuni Buddha, awakened one, to whom we bow in gratitude.
cutting through
Ignorance awakening our hearts and our minds. Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of great understanding, whom we bow in gratitude.
working
Mindfully working joyfully for the sake of all beings. Samantabhat, the Bodhisattva of great action, to whom we bow in gratitude.
responding
To suffering, serving beings in countless ways. Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of great compassion, to whom we bow in gratitude.
seed of
Awakening and loving kindness in children, sprouts, and all beings. Maitreya, the Buddha to be, to whom we bow in gratitude.
showing the way fearlessly
And compassionately, the stream of all our ancestral teachers, to whom we bow in gratitude.
the Dharma
Is deep and lovely. We now have a chance to see it and practice it. We vow to realize its true meaning.
of the Pranaparamita, the Bodhisattva
Avalokita, while moving in the deep course of Prajnaparamita, shed light on the 5 skandhas and found them equally empty. After this penetration, he overcame ill-being. Listen, Shariputra, form is emptiness, emptiness is form, form is not other than emptiness, and is not other than form. The same is true with feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They are neither produced nor destroyed, neither defiled nor immaculate. conscious. No eye or ear or nose or tongue or body or mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realms of Ella, no interdependence, no extinction of them, no ill-being, no cause of ill-being, no end of ill-being, and no path, no understanding, no attainment, because there is no the Bodhisattvas ground in Prajnaparamita find no obstacles for their minds, having no obstacles they overcome fear, liberating themselves forever from illusion and realizing perfect nirvana. All Buddhas in the past, present, and future arrive at Anuttara Samyak Sambodh. Therefore one should know that perfect understanding is the highest mantra, the unequal of ill-being, the incorruptible truth. The mantra of Prajnaparamita should therefore be Gate Gate Para Gate Para Samgate Bodhi Swaha Gate Gate Para Gate Para Samgate Bodhi Swaha Gate Gate Para Gate Para Samgate Bodhi Swaha.
Invoking the Bodhisattva's name, we invoke
Your name, Avalokiteshvara. We aspire to learn your way of listening in order to help relieve the suffering in the world. You know how to listen in order to understand. We invoke your name in order to practice listening with all our attention and open-heartedness. We will sit and listen without any prejudice. We will sit and listen without judging or reacting. We will sit and listen in order to understand. We will sit and listen so attentively that we will be able to hear what the other person is saying and also what is being left unsaid. We know that just by listening deep, great deal of pain and suffering in the other person.
we invoke
Your name, Manjushri, we aspire to learn your way, which is to be still and to look deeply into the heart of things and into the hearts of people. We will look with all our attention and open-heartedness. We will look with unprejudiced eyes. We will look without judgment or reacting. We will look deeply so that we will be able to see and understand the roots of suffering through the infinite and selfless nature of all that is. We will practice your way of using the sword of understanding to cut through the bonds of suffer, thus freeing ourselves and other species. can bring happiness to all. We know that if we practice wholeheartedly, we ourselves may become an inexhaustible source of peace and joy for our Lord and for all species.
We invoke
Your name, Shittigarba, we aspire to learn your way of being present where there is darkness, suffering, oppression, and despair, so we can bring light, hope, relief, and liberation to those places. We are determined not to forget or abandon those in desperate situations. We will do our best to establish contact with those who cannot find a way out of their suffering, those whose cries for help, justice, equality, and human rights are not being heard. We know that hell can be found in many places on earth. We will do our best not to contribute to creating more hells on and to help transform the hells that already exist. We will practice in order to realize the quality of perseverance and stability, so that like the earth we can all be supportive and faithful to those in need.
We bow together the three refuges. I
Take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness.
drowning
In the refuge of Buddha, I clearly see the path of light and beauty in the world. Dwelling in the refuge of Dharma, I learn to open many doors on the path of transformation. Dwelling in the refuge of Sangha, shining light that supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction.
taking
Refuge in the Buddha, in myself I aspire to help all people recognize their own awakened nature, realizing the mind of love, taking refuge in the in myself I aspire to help all people fully master the ways of practice and walk together on the path of liberation, taking refuge in the Sangha. In myself I aspire to help all people build fourfold communities to embrace all beings and support their transformation.
the merit.
Reciting the sutras, practicing the way of awareness, gives rise to benefits without limits. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support all